Hello everyone and welcome to Design N Quilt Monthly for May 2023. My name is Mark Garretts and I'm a National R&K educator. Last month we went over how to use backdrops in Design N Quilt, at least how to load them and manipulate them and get them the right size, etc. This month in part 2 we're going to be covering how to use those backdrops, which would be a picture of a quilt block, to create an easy quilt block. So let's get started. So if you haven't done it already and you want to follow along, go ahead and open up Design N Quilt. Your backdrop pictures may not be the same as mine, but that's okay. You will get the idea here. So the first thing we want to do is start our easy block creator. And that is done by clicking this icon right here, Create Easy Block. And that's going to open up a new design window with a default grid of 8 by 8 rectangles, and they're 1 inch across. You can also choose quarter square triangles, half square triangles, or triangles up and down. We went over this in my overview in the first video in this series. I invite you to go back and look at that, although we will be covering some of this today. Also, if you're not familiar with how to load backdrops and manipulate them, I obviously would like you to watch part 1 of this video series of pictures to quilts before you do this lesson. All right, so there's our grid. We're going to leave it like this for now, and we're going to look at some backdrops. So I'm going to click my backdrop tool, and it's going to open up the last place I did backdrops, which is a little directory I made called Quilt Pics. And here's a log cabin quilt. You can see that this uses rectangles as the base design, and there's no triangles or angled block pieces like there are in these stars. So this tells me that I want to use the rectangle part of Easy Block Creator, or if I wanted to do one of these, which we'll do later in this lesson, we would use the triangle one. All right, so you can use triangles to create squares if you wanted to do triangles all the time, but it just takes longer. So I would recommend that if you have a block that only has rectangles, to use the rectangle version of Easy Block Creator. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click Open, and that's going to go ahead and bring in our backdrop. So let's take a look at the grid of squares that's overlaid on this backdrop. So the size looks correct, okay, because my edges are all lined up, okay. So this was already set up to be an 8-inch picture, and I have an 8-inch set of grid blocks here. The problem is that you can see that in my middle block here, I've got one block, and it's kind of the size of one of these, but it's not going to be able to be made because I can't click part of this. So I could increase the number of blocks to get things to line up, but that takes more clicks to make a quilt block. So I want to make my basic block size of this grid basically the same size as my smallest rectangle block, or multiple of it, so I can do fewer clicks. But one of the things that you'll notice here, and this is something you'll learn over time, is that my grid has a center point, yet my first block is not, it's in the center, but it's not a block in the center. I don't have a block in the center. I'd have to use 4 blocks to create that center block, and that's one way to do it. But what this is telling me is that I don't want an even number of blocks across here, so I don't want 8 across, because anytime I do an even number, I'm going to have this center bisected like this. So there won't be a block in the center. So let's try changing this to 7 blocks across by 7 blocks down and see what it looks like. So right now we are in backdrop mode because I'm looking at the backdrop. So to get out of this, I need to select a different mode. So if you recall from a prior lesson, the way we start working with our rectangles or our grid in our Easy Block Creator is come here to Piece Select and click that, and that's going to get us back to where we can manipulate this grid of blocks. Okay, so like I said, we're going to try changing it to 7 across and 7 down. So I'm just going to click my down arrow here, go 7 by 7, and click Apply. And now that looks like it might line up right, but my sizing is incorrect. So I have two options here. I can either go back and resize the picture, or I can make my blocks a little bit bigger. All right, so let's look at both ways of doing that. So I could start guessing at what size I want and just change the size, width, and height of my blocks in my Easy Block Creator till I get it right. But I can also use a tool built in to figure that out exactly, and that's my measurement tool or my ruler tool. So if I click that and come over here to this center block and I line up my crosshair on one edge and click and drag, going to get a little rectangle, and that helps me make sure I get it straight, so I don't want any steps in it. There we go. And it is, let's see, I'm way off to the edge here, so let me line up my, so it says it's 1.17. Okay, so let's go here to our width and change this to 1.17. I'm going to put in a 17, and it automatically changes both because, again, I've got keep aspect ratio checked. I'll click Apply, and that's not quite right. It looks like the center block is lined up, but the rest of them are off a little. Let's just try reducing it a little bit. Could be my measurement. Let's go down to 1.14 and click Apply. Oh, there we go. Now it's lined up perfectly. So this would create the perfect block size so we could start filling them in. Our total size is close to 8, so we're at 7.98. So that's pretty good. I think we could go ahead and leave it there. But let me show you the other way that we could do that. To do that, I'm going to move my little record bar out of the way. You can't see that, but that's an extra click. Don't worry about that. I'm going to click my undo button a couple times to where I'm back to a 1.0. And let me show you the other way we would do that, and that would be to change my, we're now going to have a block size of 7 inches instead of 8. So that keeps my blocks an even inch size. And what we're going to do is go to our backdrop tool and click it again, and that allows me to re-select my backdrop. And I could come in here and I can change it to 7 by 7 exactly. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to change one, and this one automatically keeps the aspect ratio the same, so I'm going to change it to 7 and click Apply. And the problem is now it's not centered because my X and my Y are -4 and +4. And so what I want is -3.5 because that's half a 7. And I want to go to +3.5. Oops, not a comma, a dot. And click Apply. And now it's back in the center and all lined up again. So that's one way to do it. And the other way I could have done it is instead of adjusting my width and my height, so let me just go back to the way it was. I'm going to put in an 8, and we're going to go to -4 and +4 and click Apply. This is the way we were before I adjusted the size of the blocks. What I could do is instead of doing that, I could adjust the size of the backdrop. And I did that by changing the width and height of the backdrop by actual numbers, but I could also just do it visually by grabbing one of these corners and clicking and dragging it down to where it starts to line up, and then let off my mouse, and that would accomplish the same thing. And it's just a little bit off here, 7.02, so I can just adjust it to 7.0 if I wanted to. But this is just the backdrop. My quilt block is actually always going to be 7 by 7, at least the way I'm going to build it. when I export this block, when it's finally done, I could actually change it to 8 or 9 or 16 or whatever the heck I wanted it to be. All right, so this is the way we would line it up. And then to go back to quilt builder mode, I would go here to piece select, and I would start filling in my blocks. So I would click this one. I don't need to unite anything because it's just one block. I'd select a color. Let's select red to match that one. I'm going to select this block. Again, it's just its own thing. I'm going to select a green that's pretty close. And now I've got these two, so I'm going to click this one, hold down Control, click this one. I'm going to right click on it and click Unite to make this one block. I'm going to select a color. Let's see, I have anything that's close? Nah, I'll just use this blue. Okay, and then I'm going to do these two. So click that one, Control click, right click, click Unite, and I need a purple, so let's use this purple. And so I'm starting to create my quilt block grid here using the Easy Block Creator, so you can see how this works. Okay, if I turn off my backdrop, and again that's the show hide backdrop here, you can see I'm starting to create my quilt block using that backdrop as a guide to how I want to create my individual blocks or pieces within the block. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new block, and I'm going to click Create Easy Block Creator again, and that is going to open up a new window. Again, it's going to be the default. Let's load a new backdrop. So let me click the backdrop tool, and this time what we're going to use is the Morningstar quilt block, and I have one here that's small, one here that's the regular size. Let's see what the regular size looks like. I'm going to click open, and that lines up pretty well size wise, but again we have the problem of I've got the wrong shape here. So what I want is half square triangles, and I can tell that because if I look at one of these blocks, I can see that each one is divided into a half square rectangle. All right, so I'm going to again click my piece select tool to get out of backdrop mode, and here on my block type I'm going to change to half square triangles up. Let's see what that looks like, and click OK. And that looks like it matches here, but it doesn't match here. So I've got to change it to down. The problem is if I change it to down, then it won't match here. So what can I do? Well, I can't, with this particular design, use my half square triangles. Instead, I need to use the quarter square triangles. Click Apply, and now you can see that it's all lined up. And for this one, I didn't have to do any manipulation of the blocks. And this is the smallest rectangle, or excuse me, triangle that I can use to create these. All right, so you can start wherever you want. One of the problems with creating it this way is I've got a lot of rectangles to fill in here. So I can start control clicking these. So let's just do this block up here. I can start control click all of these till I get them all selected because I need to unite them. And I'm just doing all of them here. And now I'm going to right click and say unite. So now I've got this one block here. It's not filled in yet, so I want to go ahead and pick a color. See, do I have something? This is pretty close, so let me fill that in. And so I've got that piece of it selected. So that was a lot of clicking. So I'm going to show you the faster way to do it, and we'll use this one down here in the bottom right. And instead of using my regular piece select like I did, I'm going to use the lasso piece select. So I'm going to click that, and I can click and drag around, or I can just click points. And so since this is a rectangle and I don't freehand draw with the mouse very well, I'm going to click here, come over here, click off, come down here, click off, come down here, click. Then I'm going to right click to end it, and that automatically connects it. And since I had only these guys all within that lasso, I right click and I say unite. Okay, so I can keep doing that. Let's see what it looks like with a triangle piece here. So let's do this red one here. I'm going to click here, and the point is I want to choose my click points to where I can see a path to come down to here and not go through, and only go through or completely around the pieces that I want and not get bigger pieces in. So if I did this and then down, I'd get this piece, part of it. I don't want that. So I'm going to right click, and you see how it nice and selects that section. I'm going to right click again, click unite, and then I would start coloring these. I did color this one. I did not color this one, and I haven't colored that one. So let's go ahead and color that one. And this one, I want to make sure I make the same color as that. So instead of choosing a color from my big palette, I'm just going to choose the one I already know existed. Let me go back to my piece select here, select that, and click that color. And then if I hide my backdrop, you'll see that I've started to create this quilt block and out of the various pieces. So that's how you would use a backdrop along with the Easy Block Creator to make it easy to know where to select your pieces of this grid in order to create the quilt block pieces. So I want to thank you for watching and invite you to come back next month for part 3 and the final part in Pictures to Quilts, where we'll cover how to use the Advanced Block Creator along with backdrops to create our quilt blocks.